swing one of these things. Sharp, looks like a sword. May not happen every time, but if it happens once.
What just happened? What just happened? 1101-1816 is the item number on this one. And the nice thing about these practice katanas. Oh! Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt big time. A piece of that the tip just got me, Odell. What?
Okay, so it's very pretty. Looks like a sword.
Oh, that got me good. You all right? A piece of that tip just got me. Oh, right now, we may need emergency surgery in the studio.
It's a piece of junk.
Hey guys, Seth here. I know it's been a while, huh? But before I get into this video, I just want to say Happy New Year. And because I wasn't around much during Christmas, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. If you don't, oh well, Happy Holidays to everybody. Just catching my breath. It's been a while since I've done a video. Especially sitting down talking. No, Dora has not stopped bugging me. But let's get into this thing. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm an admin on a Facebook group called Completely Katana. We got about over 4,000 members now, so good job us. Yeah, I'm having a beer. Or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. So, I've seen it discussed in the group a lot about using cheap swords. Like, what is the difference? Why pay more? And I'm going to explain a few things in this video. And usually when I do videos like this is just my opinion. No guys, this is actual fact. It's been debated that a 1045 sword is just as good as a, you know, a differentially hardened, super dick, whatever type of sword. And no, it's not. Sorry. Sorry to break you guys' heart. And just to prove my point, I happen to have a 1045 sword. Now looking at it, especially on camera, you're like, well, it just looks like any other katana. In fact, this one, it's probably about $400 more than this one. This is Alex Zing Musashi, Masara, or whatever it is. Still can't pronounce it. And I'm going to be basically just doing a little comparison of the swords. Like I said, there are those that will argue you to death that a 1045 sword is just as good as a, you know, a good katana. And they mentioned the steel types. You know, 1045 is just fine. Leave it alone. Not on a sword, I'm sorry. If you plan to actually cut with this, don't cut anything more than this. And do it on a stand made of like foam or something. And this is the reason I'm going to show you. And we all know a katana is differentially hardened, you know, so it can flex it without snapping or whatever. But there's a point when it becomes too flexible, and just the slightest impact will cause it to take a set. Now, I'm just going to show you guys. I have a towel here. I'm going to put very, very little pressure on this blade. That's very little pressure. That's me using a towel and just bending it like it's a fucking pretzel. Okay? Now, do you honestly think that this is okay? This is acceptable? And the scary part about it is, guys, these things can be made razor sharp. Now I'm just going to put it on my leg and bend it right back. Or somewhat. Now this is just a display piece, so I really don't care if I mess it up. And normally I don't respond anymore to, that's about as good as it's going to get, to people that are ignorant, and they just, I don't know. Same thing with this one. Very, very little pressure. No bend. No set. Okay? That's because they put craftsmanship into this blade. Just making sure I didn't really actually fuck it up, because I did put some pressure on it. But no, it's still perfectly straight. Now, will it bend? Yeah. It's differentially hardened. It's folded. It's got hata. It's oh, what is it called? Yeah, it's folded. I'm sorry. This is a mixture of let's see. I think I'm right. It's, what is it? T10, 1065, and something else. I can't remember. It may just be the two. I can't remember. But let's say, okay, for argument's sake, you do get a sword. It's 1045 and whatever. Say it doesn't bend. It doesn't break. At least the blade. Now, if they didn't take the time to properly temper the blade, steel, I mean, you're paying $45 for it, right? Do you think they took the time to make sure the scar was properly shaped, properly made? Probably not. You know, how many horror stories do we have to watch on YouTube where people are doing, you know, given at the time they're doing something stupid? The most famous is the guy on the Home Shopping Network taking I think it was a stainless steel sword and just tapping the spine to the point where it snapped, came back and hit him. That can happen on a improperly tempered sword, guys, and that's what you're paying for when you pay for a more expensive blade. You're paying for quality, not just in the blade, but in the fittings as well. So, like I said, say the blade doesn't snap. What happens if what happens if the scar is damaged and it breaks? What if you're cutting, you know, and you're in your backyard and you cut something, you bump the stand, the scar breaks. Say you're, for some reason, holding it one-handed and you're doing an uppercut. Anyway, and say where you're holding it snaps and the rest of it goes flying. Anything can happen. A similar situation happened to me when I was younger and did something stupid. Well, my dad did something stupid. And because of what we were just fooling around with, if I had been standing in front of him, I would have been impaled. He had, I think it was a spear or something that wasn't, you know, totally secure, and he swung it down and the blade flew off. Went all the way across the room and landed in his chest of drawers and got stuck. It was hilarious. Not at the time, but it's pretty funny now. So, you know, you're not paying for a sword to be able to say, hey, I've got L6, I've got T10s, you know, I can show off. You're paying for quality, guys. You're paying for something that isn't gonna like cause you physical harm, or your property, or your pets, or your loved ones. You know, I mean, I love animals, and if I was ever fooling around with a sword in here, which I do sometimes, I get bored, I do cutting stuff in my spare bedroom, but if I was using a piece of junk like this, and the blade flew off and hit door and, you know, hurt her or killed her, I'd never forgive myself. So why would you limit yourself to spending $50 on something that could possibly kill you or kill someone you care about because it's not properly heat treated? It's not properly fit, you know, the furniture on it isn't properly made. A sword that you pay $50 for, unless you come across something rare, but those swords you see on Amazon and true swords for like $25 and $30, $40, whatever, they're not made to be used like you see us cutting in the backyard. They're not. And anyone that tells you that is an idiot and just doesn't care about your health. I'm just being honest. Now, does that mean you have to spend $500 on a sword that's going to be safe? No. You can go, I mean, a Musashi 1045 is going to be okay. But like I said, this is a piece of junk from Amazon. Which goes back to, it all depends on who makes the blade and what kind of work they put into it. But still, a 1045 blade will never be as strong and as sharp and as durable as 1060 and 1095 and all that, all up the ladder. It's not a fair comparison. Just like 440 isn't as good as 1045. I'm sorry that one thing is better than the other. That's just the way life is. And there's a comparison, you know, comparing the cars. You know, say you compare a, I don't know, a 1930 Packard or whatever it is, and you compare it to a Z06 Corvette. And you can argue that they're both going to get you there, but, you know, look at the difference in the quality you're talking about. And it's not all bells and whistles. It's safety, it's emission control, it's luxury, it's convenience, and just bring up safety. I have a 2017 Camaro, right? A buddy of mine at work has the same car, but it's an RS. It's a V6, mine's a V8. And we actually have the same color. I mean, standing from a distance, you can't tell the cars apart. Or at least you couldn't used to. So he was driving home one night from work obviously, and he's tired. So he got clipped by an 18-wheeler. The 18-wheeler drug him probably 300 yards in the car, like just smashing everything, you know, in the way until they finally got to a stop. The car was totaled. I mean, if you were to drive by and, you know, you're driving by and you see this what is left of this Camaro on the side of the road, you're like, damn, somebody died tonight. But no, because of how well the car was made and the improvements in, you know, the leaps in technology we've made since back then, kept my friend alive. He was pretty scratched up, but no broken bones, no deep lacerations. He's pissed off by his car being totaled, but he's going to get a pretty good kickback, plus he got a new car. I'm just saying, it's not fair to compare 1045 wall hanger to a properly made blade by a master blacksmith, or smith, whatever you want to call him, Alexander. And like I said, $50, about $400. I have swords in there that I paid about $100, $150 for. You don't have to take out a freaking mortgage on your house to get a sword that will cut well and cut safe, keep you safe. And let's just, you know, let's just throw out the safety for a minute. I know some people just get irked when you are concerned about their health. I don't know why. But say you want to get into cutting, you know, and say you're like, okay, well, I can save up for 2 weeks and spend $200 on, I don't know, whatever your sword you're interested in, a Hanwei, the HSTS, Mutoshi, whatever. But you think, oh, I could spend $50 and get whatever I can afford at the moment. And it's never going to cut as good, guys. I'm sorry. They don't put that much work into these things as far as the geometry and the cutting performance. Anyone that tells you they're the same, that they cut the same, that they're going to do the same exact thing, is ignorant. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. So, and that's why I came out of my little respite, my break, my vacation from videos. It seems like there's always drama surrounding these things. But when it comes to safety, I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm going to do my best to help my fellow backyard cutters and freestyle cutters cut safely and cut better. So with that being said, I hope you guys are having a great new year. Have some fun getting some cool new and safe swords. I'm putting this one back on my my countertop over there where it belongs, and I'll keep my real good swords, you know, for cutting. This is decoration, nothing more. You guys have a great one. Peace and say my name. We'll see you next time. Be safe out there.